Hey, what's going on, everybody? Manny here once again. Welcome to DFS Zone. I have a new NBA DFS video for you guys, but before we get started, like always, I appreciate you guys all drop a like on the video. It helps my channel out a whole lot. I greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, it's your first time here, have not seen any of my videos before, the only thing you need to do to be a part of the community, get access to the videos, is to become a subscriber down below. It's as simple as that. Make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure you put on your post notifications. This way you don't miss out on any of my new videos. And I post up an NBA video throughout the NBA season, pretty much every single game of the slate until the football season's over. And then when football's over, it will be videos pretty much all 7 days of the week. So again, make sure you subscribe and put on your post notifications. With that being said, today is Friday. It's November the 29th, 2019, and I hope everyone had a wonderful day yesterday with their families and friends. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I did. I enjoyed. I ate a whole lot, and I'm ready to get back on the grind because the grind is real. I tell you guys that all the time here, especially the guys that are privately with me. Grind is real. The grind is every day in the NBA when you play DFS, and I'm ready to go and get right back at it. So first things first, I wanted to discuss real quickly. As you guys know, I do have a Patreon page. The link is in the description of this video. I will have a Black Friday sale. The only thing is that it does not go into effect today simply because it's a Patreon, and with Patreon, they charge you at the beginning of the month. So I wouldn't want to have anybody who might have an interest go there today and get charged today and then get charged again on the first. So to avoid that, I'd rather you guys wait. If you are interested, wait until Sunday. I will announce it again tomorrow, and if I do decide to do a quick video on Sunday, I will announce it on Sunday as well. But it will not take effect it won't be in effect until Sunday, just simply to avoid you guys having that kind of an issue. So what are you getting? Well, right now on my Patreon page, I'll offer a player pool option, which is monthly, and I also have a monthly tier where you can have access to the top 5 plays, which I normally give you more than 5 for those of you who already are involved, as well as the top 5 GPP, top 5 cash plays, which, like I said, is usually more than just 5, and I'll also give you what I think are the best value plays for the day on that slate. And I do that just to be sure that maybe those plays more than likely could be able to help you guys out in figuring out. I don't give up lineups because I play multiple lineups. I'm a GPP player, like I've said before, and basically sometimes my lineups are a little bit different, and for me to just pick out one and say, this is the one that I should sell to someone, it don't make no sense to me. I think that that's just not the right way to go. I think I'd rather just teach, show you more or less what I have, and then let you decide for yourself. And if you want to reach out to me privately on Discord or something like that, because it does have a private Discord chat invite, then you can be able to discuss anything with me there, and even as a community. So what are you getting is all access to everything. Right now I have it for $25 a month. I am actually going to reduce that to $20 a month, and then starting also Sunday, I told you guys I've been working on a quick search sheet, which I call it the quick search, and that quick search sheet is going to have a number of little statistics that I normally look and gauge my decisions on top of matchups. You're going to have there pretty much the player's name, the salaries for Fanduel, DraftKings. I may even add in there Yahoo because I started playing some Yahoo 2 weeks ago. So I may do that as well. And then you got there the minutes, the usage, the shots they take a game, how many threes. It's going to be a whole breakdown, fantasy points per minute, usage minutes, everything I pretty much discussed, and then some. About 16 different statistics, including some statistics upon the opponent's defenses, like how vulnerable the defenses are to three-point shooters as well as to regular floor shots, and then of course stuff like rebounding as well. So I'm going to be adding, so in other words, you're going to have a complete look, and it's going to be all on spreadsheet format. It's not going to be just right now I give you guys audios. It's going to be a spreadsheet format, and then I'm also moving on to my player pool as well as my cash plays and GPP plays as spreadsheet format as well. So a whole different change that is starting as of Sunday. If you're interested in that, the whole entire thing, whole access to all the tiers combined together will be $20, which is a great deal. So definitely check it out in the link in the description. Only, like I said, if you decide you are interested, do it on Sunday, okay, just to avoid you being charged twice, because I don't want to have that issue. Other than that, if you're first time here in this channel, hey, I do a weekly giveaway of my player pool, which more than likely could be either the quick search sheet if that's what people prefer. I'll give you that option starting on Mondays. We do that a weekly giveaway, and the only thing you need to do to be a part of that weekly giveaway is like the video, obviously comment something regarding the slate, and at the same time be a subscriber to the channel. And as long as you have all those three things in, you will be in that drawing on Monday, which the new one will be this coming Monday. All right, enough of that yapping. Let's get into this huge 12-game slate today in the association. So at point guard, we're going to go at the top here, and we have Luka Doncic. Listen, I mean, again, just to try to, I'm going to try to give you a play that I like on FanDuel, as well as I always give you a couple other options, and then I'm going to do the same thing for DK. Some players may be also and may have interest in both platforms, so I won't have to tell you the information twice. But let's get to point guard. Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic seems to be always in play, but he is priced about where he should be at 12,002. You need about 61 points from him. I think he can definitely smash 61 here today against Phoenix. You can go there if you want. I'm going to pay down a little bit there. Damian Lillard and Trae Young are definitely in effect as well. I do like Lillard a lot more because he's at home. Granted, that game became a little bit of a blowout the other night, late in the early fourth quarter. It kind of started because they just played Chicago. So him being at home, I do love him a whole lot here at 9,300. He's under 10. I think he could definitely smash at 45 to 50 fantasy points here. My only concern is that this has the potential to be a blowout, and that's the only concern there with anybody in Portland. But again, because I play the after hours, I will have some exposure to this game as well as the Washington Laker game, just simply because I love playing that late after hours, GPP tournament games. At the top, you also have Ben Simmons, man. There's not going to be no Josh Richardson, and of course, no Al Horford today for Philadelphia. So he is definitely an option against New York. You can go there. I can see myself having a little exposure to Ben Simmons. But I'm going to come down. Ja Morant has been playing really well. His price tag is just about right. He's getting to the point where he's going to be pretty much priced out a little bit. But at 8,000, needing 40, and he already has played this team before. I mean, he just played them not so long ago. When did he play them? Utah. He played them here. He put up a 39 against Utah the first time around. But look at the way he's been playing as of late. The minutes are there, over 30 minutes a game. He had two double-doubles in a row. Been 20 or better in 3 out of his last 4 games and 5 out of his last 7. So he's pretty consistent as far as a score is concerned. Surprisingly, he has definitely been really, really sharp with his defense. Look at this, 6, 9, 11, 12 steals over the last 4 games with 3 blocks. That is pretty damn impressive. So, I mean, I really like that. And he's had 3 straight games at 45 or better. So he does have 50-point upside, which is definitely a plus here in this matchup. When you look at him overall, as far as his shooting, he's shooting 46% from the floor, 41% from 3. His usage rate is at 30%, which is pretty darn good for a rookie, taking 15 to 16 shots from the floor and as many as 5 to as much as 6 threes per game. So he is obviously a high usage player, definitely doing a lot of things for this team. Offensively is one of their main weapons. And, of course, he's the second pick in the whole overall draft. So, I mean, he's definitely a talented young man. But I haven't taken him at all in many games this year. I've had him sprinkled him in a few lineups this year, but never as a core. I'm definitely thinking of him here on FanDuel at least as a possible core today. So I do like Ja Morant here. He's going up against Utah. Utah, with Connolly's defense, not the greatest. They've been giving up 40 fantasy points to opposing point guards over the last 7 games. Jeff Teague put up 40. Kai Bowman put up 43, and Brogdon put up 38, and Drew Holiday put up 58. So I think Morant is in a good spot here to get his 40 to 45. I would not be surprised at all if he puts up 50 or better. The game is a competitive game. That's another thing with these 12-game slates. Try to stay with a game that's competitive, with some of these key players on their respective teams are going to be there at crunch time. That's what you really, really want to do, and that's why I'm a little worried about the Portland game, Chicago. The same thing with the same thing for me with the Milwaukee-Cleveland game. There's a couple of games here that could be a little dangerous to jump into some of the players. Next in line, I like Morant here at FanDuel. On DK, it's more so I do that like a number of guys on DK as well, but I'm going to go here on DK. I do like Devontae Graham at 6,900. Devontae Graham is definitely someone that I'm considering here. He's trending upward. We're going to look at him always Sorry about that. Devontae, yeah, shooting guard. He's shooting guard, obviously, on FanDuel, but on DK, he's point guard and shooting guard eligible. So, but his numbers have been pretty darn good. Look at his minutes, man. 35 plus minutes. The thing that intrigues me the most is the minutes, of course, usage and shots. His usage rate is up there. His usage rate is at nearly 25% on average. Some days as high as 27%. He's taking 15 to 16 shots, taking 8 to 9 threes. So he's taking tons of shots, shooting 41% from the floor, 40% from three, and 35 plus minutes a game. And as you can see, he's had 2 out of his last 3 double-double. He has been as high as 45. All right, so he's got 45-point upside at 7,200. At least on FanDuel, 7,200, you need 36. But I'm playing him on DK where he's 6,900, you need 34, and he's averaging 36 fantasy points per game there as far as DK points. He's going up against Detroit. They're 29th in defending shooting guards, allowing 30.5 fantasy points per game. They did give up to him 46, and they gave Bembry 45, and he has had 2 solid games against them already as well. So, I mean, with a 46 spot here, and then earlier in the season, 38 minutes, he had 18, 5, and 10 for 38. So he's pretty much averaging about 38, 39 fantasy points against them. Devontae Graham, definitely in play for me on DK. For that $6,900 price tag. We go back to FanDuel. On FanDuel for shooting guard at the top, I like Devontae Graham. You know, he's gonna be the FanDuel shooting guard. But a number of guys here I do like. Okay, obviously I have no problem with Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell is an excellent player at 8,600 today. Devin Booker going up against Dallas at home. Definitely think that's the way to go. Holiday, I definitely have a whole ton of interest in today. No Lonzo Ball. Drew Holiday is definitely in play. You could easily slot him in here, but I wanted to save a little bit so that maybe I can get back to some Drew Holiday as my second shooting guard here on FanDuel. But if I come down even further, down here where Devontae's at, these 3 guys here definitely stand out a whole lot. I could see myself making my lineup today and making sure that each one of my lines has at least Devontae Graham, Zach LaVine, or Jeremy Lamb. I think they're all in excellent spots. LaVine has been on fire. He came through for me big the other day. Jeremy Lamb has been playing well lately as well, and he is definitely someone to consider here against Atlanta. So I think that either one of these 3, even if you didn't want Devontae Graham, I could see myself having LaVine and Lamb in my lineup as well, and they are definitely in my player pool for sure right now. On top of Donovan Mitchell and Drew Holiday, I like a lot of the shooting guards here today. But because I already spoke about Devontae, my shooting guard over here is Drew Holiday. You know, someone that I can definitely talk about. Let's get him on here. Where's Drew at? Holiday, there you go. So Holiday's in play for me here on DK. And Holiday has been really been solid as well. He's averaging 42 fantasy points per game. Let's get him up over here. And, I mean, look at the numbers. Over 35 minutes. When Ball is off the court, he's like, you know, he's just incredible. He's playing more than enough minutes, but when Ball is not on the court, he automatically jumps up to 26, 27% or more as far as usage rate, because he's now the point guard. He moves into the point guard spot with 56 in his last game. He's had 2 56-plus games in the last 3 games. And, I mean, he had a double-double here, 29 and 12 against the Lakers, 22 and 10 over here. I mean, he's getting over 22 floor points per game in 5 out of his last 6 games. He had 8,100. You need pretty much 40, 41. And he's 7,800 on DK. Right there, you basically need 38, and he's averaging 42 DK points on DK. Shooting 6 of 15 for 40% over his the last game he put up against them. He only played 31 minutes. He shot 6 of 15 for 40%, shooting from the floor 2 of 5 from 3. Granted, Ball played in that game, and Ball had a better game, and that's one of the reasons why his numbers were lower. But with Ball off the court, he definitely gets a huge bump. So his usage rate over that span is over the last couple of games, his usage rate has been at 26 to 27%, taking 19 to 20 shots from the floor and 4 or 5 from 3. And he also, of course, brings defense, which that is a specialty. As you can see, 3 steals here, 4 here. He can get you steals and blocks. Drew Holiday in play for me on DK. Okay, so he's the DK play there. We come over back, small forward. Let's go to small forward on FanDuel. You got Giannis at the top, LeBron. I mean, no problem. The game's just a little. These are dangerous games. That's the only reason I'm not too high on either one of these two. But again, LeBron may be an option for me later on because I am planning to play the after-hour slate, which is the 10 and the 10:30 game. So he may be someone I may consider down the line. But as far as in the main slate, I'm not sure I'm going to go that way. There's so many options. I really like a balanced lineup a whole lot. I can see myself having a number of balanced lineups today. So I'm going in that direction mostly. I like Brandon Ingram here a whole lot just simply because ball off the court, we know he's going to be the top usage guy other than Holiday. He's going to get more of the shots. He's going to get more of the opportunities on top of what Holiday will bring. So I like Brandon Ingram here at 8,800. I know he's a little pricey. It's really close to his average, but he does have 50-point upside. In his first meeting against these guys, he only played 13 minutes because he left because of injury. He had 15 fantasy points, which was way down here. OKC, 13 minutes, 7-4, 1-1. He got injured in the second quarter and he left the game. But other than that, look at the minutes and everything as of late. 32 plus over the last few games. He's had 21 or more points from the floor in 5 straight games. He had a double-double here. He brings defense as well. As you can see, blocks and steals, 39 plus in 5 straight games. And he's averaging 43 at 88. You need about 43, 44 to me value. I think he could definitely get there because he's capable of getting you 50 or better. His usage rate is going to be up high. He's in this particular game, he's shooting 48% from the floor, 42% from 3, 81% from the free throw line. And as we know, he can definitely rebound. He can get you some assists. He does a little bit of everything. He steals and blocks. His usage rate is 29%. It will be a slightly, it'll be slightly over 30% without ball on the court. He's taking 21 to 22 shots on average, 7 to 8 threes. And again, he's going up against OKC. They're 21st in defending small forwards. They're allowing 34.6 fantasy points per game. They just recently gave up 43 to Glenn Robinson III, 52 back-to-back to LeBron James in 2 games back-to-back, and 39 to TJ Warren. This is all over the last 5 or 6 games. He is also in this particular, now I'm not going to talk about him again because I like him here as my small forward. He is actually my power forward on DK. So on DK, I like his price tag for 8,300 as my power forward. My small forward on DK is going to be Jabari Parker. I like Jabari Parker at the moment at 6,200. I think that's a pretty good price tag for Jabari. So we're going to go over here on Fanduel just to look over Jabari. And he's a power forward in Fanduel where he is small forward and power forward eligible on DK. The minutes are there, 33 plus in the last 2. Look at this, 33, 14, and 5 against Milwaukee the other day. 1 block, 2 steals. Obviously, he wanted to get back at them. That was like more of a revenge game narrative type of thing because he did play with the Milwaukee Bucks. 22, 7, and 2 in the previous game against Minnesota. 36 plus in 3 straight games. He has 60-point upside. It's only 7,000. You need 35. This is a game they need him to ball out in against Indiana because Indiana's front court is pretty tough with Sabonis and Turner up front. So Jabari is the second leading scorer on this team ever since Collins went down. Him and Trae Young have been the most important pieces to the Atlanta offense. So Jabari Parker is in play. 52% field goal percentage from the floor, has 60-point upside. His usage rate is at 25%, taking in the last 3 games 16 plus shots from the floor, taking on average 4 threes per game. Can get you rebounds, as you know, 6 or 7 or more, pretty much on average. As you see, went over the top here with 14. Indiana 10th in defending power forwards, allowing only 26 fantasy points per game. Jonathan Isaac did put a 55 against them 2 games ago, and Giannis put up 52 about 5 games back. Those are the only 2 individuals that have put up some serious numbers again. Again, Jabari for the price tag, the amount of minutes he's going to get, usage, and the importance of him on the offense, on the offensive side of the ball for the Atlanta Hawks is definitely someone you can't consider today. And like I said, I do like Mr. Ingram for the power forward spot on DK. We go over to center. At center at the top, we got Joel Embiid in a good matchup here against New York. Granted, he's 10,200. I was thinking about this just looking at the numbers at 10,002 here on FanDuel for him. And knowing that Whiteside is 8,300, can get almost the same amount of fantasy points, and he's $1,900 cheaper, and he can do it in less minutes than Joel Embiid can. definitely has me leaning towards Whiteside, and I also do like Rudy Gobert. But then when you look at Gobert and Whiteside, you got to look at their matchups, and obviously the matchup is more better for Gobert, more competitive game, chances for him to stay on the court longer, be there at crunch time, where Whiteside did play very, very well the first time around against Chicago 2 games ago, as he put up 36 fantasy points in 22 minutes and had a double-double with 2 blocks and a steal. He's going to do that because he's that kind of a player. But if the game gets a little, if the game starts getting a little bit, 12, 13-point difference late in the fourth quarter, he's not going to get a lot of minutes. And that's my concern, is just this game getting a little bit away from Chicago, and then Whiteside and guys like Lillard are not going to get their minutes, especially at crunch time. But if the game could stay close, he will definitely put up 40 or better. So Whiteside is in play for me. I think Embiid is someone you can play. I just think for $1,900 cheaper, at least on Fanduel, I would rather go Whiteside. And even though for the same price, I'd rather go Gobert even more so. So for the sake of the video, I'm going to put Gobert here. And I believe that Whiteside's in play. And Gobert is the better play simply because I think the game is going to be a little closer. It's a little more competitive. Plain and simple. Plus, on top of that, Gobert put up a really nice number against these guys the first time. Rudy Gobert, the first time around he played against Memphis, he put up 57 spot in 36 minutes, had a double-double, 23-17, had 1 assist, 5 blocks. And that's what he could bring to the table, is the blocks. And he's been, he has those moments where he's had 5 blocks in a game. Here against Golden State, he put up 7. Granted, not a high usage guy, neither is Whiteside, but these guys, because they're not going to get you a whole lot of assists, but they can get you tons of rebounds. They can definitely put all the easy baskets back in, all the little putbacks, the alley-oops, and then they bring that defense outside of the ball where they can get all those peripherals like blocks and steals, and that's what makes it intriguing with Rudy Gobert. So Gobert 30+ minutes. Obviously the minutes are there. He's playing more than enough minutes, which is great. He has 55 point upside, no doubt about it, at 8,300. Already had put up 56, 57 spot against this team. He is shooting pretty much like 67% from the floor. Memphis is going in here. The first, Memphis is coming in here, giving up 30.4 fantasy points per game to opposing centers. Gobert, like I said, put up 57. Cauley Stein put up 32. Vucevic put up 59, but that was about 8 games ago. They haven't played many top-tier centers, so they're going to go at it again today with Rudy Gobert up front. I do like the matchup, him versus Valanciunas. Valanciunas could be a pretty good defensive player. He could actually put up 40 himself, 50 if he plays more than enough minutes. But I think Gobert here is in the better line to put up the 50 or better in the matchup. If you're not on Gobert, there's a couple of guys at center that I do think, like Tristan Thompson. I will have a couple of lineups with him on it. I think you could go Miles Turner. It'll be a little bit risky because Miles Turner hasn't really put up any huge numbers as of late. His minutes have been down as well too, so a little concern there with Miles, but it'll be a night. Nobody's going to beat on him. So if you wanted to go with somebody who's going to be very low owned and may surprise you and get 40 or 45, could be Miles Turner. You can't go Valanciunas. I think Thomas Bryant is in a great spot again, but this is also a game that has a high spread. It is going to be a paced-up game for the Lakers. It's also a paced-down game for Washington. I do believe the Lakers are going to definitely take care of business here against Washington. So a little risky there, but Thomas in a good spot to get you 31, 32 or better. Brook Lopez at 6,000 is definitely a great play here. He put up nearly 40 against Cleveland the first time around against Tristan Thompson, and we know that he likes to shoot the threes as well, and could be pretty lethal from out there if he starts burying those. And other than that, if you wanted to pay all the way down, obviously my only favorite play here at the very bottom would be Mo Bamba, who is coming off the bench really quickly and is playing more than 20 minutes a game and putting up more than 1 fantasy point per minute at 4,500. I think he is definitely a viable option, among other guys. Again, if you want to follow along, the link in the description will have what my player pool looked like today. Again, like I said, if you're new and if you're new to trying to go to Patreon, I advise you to wait until Sunday anyway. But that's pretty much it. That's where I'm at. At center here for DraftKings, I do like Tristan Thompson for the 6,100. I think you got to consider Tristan Thompson here. 36 plus in his last 2 games. And we'll go and take a look at him over here. And his numbers are not too bad. he's had 36 plus in 2 out of the last 3, playing 31 to as much as 35 minutes. That's more than enough minutes on the floor for his price tag. He has had 2 double-doubles And then the last time he played these guys, he put up 33 minutes, he put up a 38 spot. 17, he had a double-double, 17 and 13. He's good for 35 to 40. I think he's pretty steady. As you can see, his average is 35. That's about his price tag. So I could see him getting 35 to 40 in this matchup if he wanted to go safe. But at 6,100 on DK, that's a great price for him, man. You only need 30 to 31 there, and he's averaging 35 DK points. He's averaging 35 DK points, and he's shooting 52% from the floor. And you know you're going to get at least 10 rebounds from him. First time around, he put up 35 there. And if we look, let's see how his splits are. Okay, Milwaukee. Man, he's at home. At home, he's actually shooting about the same. Shooting better threes on the road, but then again, he doesn't take a ton of threes. 52%, pretty much about the same. So no problem there. Averaging 36 fantasy points at home as opposed to 32. So Tristan Thompson at 6,100, at least on DK, should be a solid, especially it'll be even a solid cash play for you cash play players. I think that he's definitely someone you can consider. And he does have that 40-plus upside, which makes him not a bad play for GPP today in this game. But the only thing is also this game a little scary. Milwaukee is favored by 10, 11 points. Could be a little dangerous. All right. That's pretty much where I'm at, man. So these are the guys I have. You had Graham, Holiday, Parker, Ingram, and Thomas on DK. And on Fanduel, at the moment, I like Morant, Graham, Ingram, Parker, and Gobert. Obviously, there's others there as well that I do like tonight as well. And then, of course, always stay on top of the injury news. Anything can happen from here to the end of the day. Other than that, man, I wish you guys a lot of luck, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video.